Hi, Caleb with Brownells here. Today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite straight wall cartridges that are AR compatible and deer hunting legal in restricted states. First we have our 350 Legend and our 450 Bushmaster. Now the 450 Bushmaster's been around for a while, but the 350 Legend's relatively new to the game, so we'll do some comparisons here. Now taking a look at the 450 Bushmaster, comparing that to our common 4570, you'll notice that they've basically shortened it and removed the rim so that it'll fit and feed in the AR-15 platform. And moving on to your 350 Legend, you'll see here, compared to a 357 Magnum, they lengthened it and removed the rim, again so it'll feed properly from the AR platform. First off, I have the 3030 Winchester. This cartridge has taken more deer in America legally than any other caliber. And then here we have the new 350 Legend. The 350 Legend is a little bit larger diameter bullet, but it's only about 100 foot per second slower than the 3030. Now, what that means is that at about, let's say 300 yards, you're only about a few inches lower with the 350 Legend than you are with the 3030. And here we also have the 450 Bushmaster. Now the 450 Bushmaster is moving right about the same speed as this 350 Legend, but it's a much larger projectile, so at 300 yards you're actually about 10 inches lower than these other two cartridges. Now that you have a better understanding of the cartridges, let's get into what components are going to be different to convert or build one of these AR-15s in a straight wall cartridge. So I'm going to start with the 450 Bushmaster first, because that's going to have the most differences, and I'll start with the bolts. Same bolt carrier like any other AR-15 caliber conversion, but the bolt faces are much different. You can see that 450 Bushmaster is larger to allow for that larger rim. And of course you're going to have the barrel and muzzle device. The big thing on the 450 Bushmaster that we get a lot of calls on is the magazine. Now if you'll notice, the magazine here has a half moon cutout in the front and this single feed follower. You can fit a 450 Bushmaster in a standard magazine, but you will have feeding issues. That's all you need for the 450 Bushmaster. Moving on to the 350 Legend, you actually need less. So if you'll notice, the rim on the 350 Legend is the same size as a 223-556 cartridge, so you can use the same bolt setup. Now what is going to be different is of course the barrel and your muzzle device. Now the muzzle threads are still 1/2x28, but you'll need to make sure you have the correct muzzle device because you're now using a 35 caliber bullet versus a 223. Now moving on to the magazine, you'll notice that because of the follower it's still a staggered magazine, but you don't have these large ribs in the side of it that the 223-556 magazine has, because that guides the bottleneck of the cartridge, and now you're using a straight wall cartridge. Now you can take a standard magazine and modify it to feed 450 Bushmaster, 350 Legend not so much. Another question we get a lot about, not just with straight wall conversions, but any AR caliber conversion, is do I need to change the buffer? My answer to that is no. Whenever they drill these gas ports in the barrels from the factory, they drill them to function with that specific caliber. Both of these cartridges are great choices for hunting deer in the AR-15 platform. And of course, if you have any questions on these or any other caliber conversions, feel free to give us a call on the tech line. Thanks for joining. See you next time.